Hey guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back. Guys, I'm going to give a special shout out to one of my subscribers who sent me this story. His name is Hugh Bark. So shout out Hugh Bark. Guys, it's been a while since this story had happened, since it first broke the news. And it's about Ronald Green, 49-year-old Ronald Green, out there in Louisiana, who was beaten by 5 Louisiana State Troopers after he led them on a high-speed chase and then crashed out of control. They pulled him out the car and just did him dirty. Now, the 5 officers, now in December, right? And I can't believe this flew over the radar with me. In December, I think it was around December 15th, 2022, these 5 officers, after 3 years, have been indicted, you know, on negligent homicide, charges of negligent homicide and obstruction of justice. The reason why they got the obstruction of justice, if you remember the case, he died in custody. You know, they beat him, tased him, dragged him by his face. Well, they dragged him by his feet, but messed his face up, beat him up really bad. And I want to get into the story. But before I really get to cooking on this story with some insight from myself and experience of me being in Louisiana, I'm going to name these officers. Dakota DeMoss is one, John Clary, Chris Harpin, and Corey York, and John Peters is the last one. So those are the 5 officers. You guys can go look up the stories for these officers, but they've been indicted and they going to jail. There ain't no way they can get out of this. Body cam say a lot. But listen, before we jump into this, I want to show you 2 videos. And the first video I'm going to show you is the initial video, and it is graphic. But in this video, I want you to hear what the officers say to him while they're fighting on him. And I want you to watch the policing procedure, and you tell me if this is legal or not. Let's jump into it.
Mr. Green was, to some degree, even though he had just finished leading police officers on a lengthy and high-speed chase, his inclination at that particular point was to acquiesce to what the officers wanted.
Let me see your hands! Put your hands behind your back. Give me your fucking hands. Put your hands behind your back. Taser, taser. Put your hands behind your back. Behind your back. You're about to get it again if you don't put your fucking hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. I'm sorry.
What's problematic for me is that Mr. Green is now left on the ground, on his stomach, handcuffed in a prone position. And officers are trained throughout the United States that once there's a struggle of this nature, and the individual's handcuffed, that you need to push him off onto his side or get him in a sitting position so you can allow that breathing to be unimpeded by his own body weight.
This guy ain't got fucking AIDS.
And that didn't happen for at least, based on my calculation, 9 minutes, where Mr. Green was left alone. And then when he wasn't left alone and he tried to get over onto his side, another trooper pushed him down using his foot against the lower back and buttocks of Mr. Green. And I didn't understand that. There was absolutely no reason for that. Under no circumstances should Mr. Green have been drugged by his ankle shackles. That was malicious, sadistic, completely unnecessary. And the officer that did it's going to have to be held accountable.
You guys see that? That was not standard policing procedure. A lot of people say, oh, why you don't comply? The man seemed like he was complying when they pulled him over. They said the man ran into a tree. Some of the details, they said he died on impact running into a tree while they were in hot pursuit of him. Did you see a tree anywhere? If anything, his car looked like was barely on the side of the dirt road. It's like a dirt road or a concrete road with gravel on it. And part of the car was still in the street. So you see the lie? Another thing is this. There's so many lies that these troopers told after beating this man up, because they snatched him out the car. You've seen the video. They snatched him out the car. The man was complying. He was scared. You know he was scared because he knew he was caught. They pulled him out the car, roughed him up. You could have put the handcuffs on him. And then another thing is this. This is just like the situation with Tyree. And this is something that goes on a lot all over the place. You know, you got the one trooper choking him out with his body bent a certain way. You know, it's normal. If somebody grabbed your neck and twisted your body, going to follow. Then you got somebody behind him on his legs. And then somebody else saying what? I'm going to tase you. Same shit. Gangbuster savagery. And it's like a lot of people, you know, that don't watch these type of videos or just see something on the news that really don't pay attention to it. And unless you see this up close, or you're in a position to where you confronted by police officers like this, because not all police officers are bad, but you confronted by some police officers like this, where, you know, first of all, he ran off from the stop when they chased him. That's already going to piss him off. You know, I'm from New Jersey. State troopers used to have this thing called running tax, meaning if they have to chase after you, whether it's in the car or on foot, they're going to bust your ass. So you don't run. They tell you that. It's called running tax. That's what they used to call it in Jersey. Now, I don't know if they had that in Louisiana, but the thing, bottom line, guys, is this. They was already pissed. Pulled him over. You know he's defying of the law. Come up there, wrangle him out the car, right? Supposedly he was high off of cocaine, which I don't know to be sure. But let me go a little bit into Louisiana real quick and tell you a little bit about my experiences going to Louisiana. Now, when I went to Louisiana, I would just go to the casino, because I'm in Houston. It was like 2.5, 3 hours to go down to Isle of Capri Casino or whatever in Lake Charles, Louisiana, which is close by Houston. And I was pulled over once on the way back, and they said I was riding behind a truck for too long, like a tractor trailer. They said I was riding behind it. And that's a crime, you know, a non-felonious crime where you get a ticket riding behind a tractor trailer. I never knew that. And Louisiana, it has a lot of dark areas and a lot of, like, everything's spread out. And when the state trooper was behind me, I never even seen him. It's like, because they had blue lights out there. The lights lit up. He had the spotlight while we was driving. It was like a UFO. And it was scary. Pull you over on the side of the road, ain't nothing there except highway. And I came back like 2 a.m. by myself. And I was pulled over, and like a whole bunch of state troopers came. And I was scared to death. I'm not even gonna lie, you know. But getting back to the story, guys, listen. They beat the man up, right? Look at the silliness. They beat the man up. Certain parts of the video, because like that video is being shown all over the place. I added that one because it has a lawyer's viewpoint of what was wrong with what you've seen, to give you guys an idea. But a lot of times in this video, right before I get into that, in this video, they turned off the sound and they turned off the body cams at certain times, because what was found out over these 3 years with all of the lies that they was telling the state troopers, the lies wasn't adding up. The sound was on one part, then they turned the sound off. Like, did you see when the state trooper was talking to him, you didn't hear the mic? I didn't know they could separately turn off the audio and the mic. I thought it was just all one feed, like they just hit a button and everything come on. The guy was saying something to him, then you see the part where he's writhing in pain, and they put his foot on his ass to keep him down there. He can't go nowhere. He can't go no. Why you gotta do that? It's like a whole bunch of extra stuff. And it's like mainly like a power trip. But I'm gonna tell you something. When cops do this type of stuff, they be so angry, and I think they personalize everything to where like, oh, he know he getting his ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you know they communicate by radio when they're talking, but they don't never know when the person's gonna crash out or when they catch him or anything like that. But when they get out the damn car, everybody got a vendetta against this person. You know, now was he wrong for driving off? Yeah, he was wrong for driving off. I don't even know why he drove off. And I can never understand why people do that. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you're going to get caught. But, I mean, that's something we'll never figure out. But did he deserve to get beat to death? No, because he was compliant. Then you kept hearing him say, hey, I'm scared. I'm scared. Then he's screaming. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying he's sorry. The man got out the car. If you had put him on the damn ground, I'm sure he would have just put his hands behind his back. But how can you put your hands behind your back when you got somebody choking you, somebody with their knee on you? Them some heavy officers, you know what I'm saying? And his spine bent up. It's the same situation we seen with Tyree. And like this goes on across America every day, except for the fatality rate is not where we seeing it, you know, in these videos I do. But come on, man, this is stupid stuff. And then they lied. They take him to the hospital, right? They called the hospital because he got unresponsive when he was there. Another thing is they had the cameras on, and then all of a sudden, all of the cameras was off for a second. And then they come back on and he knocked out, bleeding and bloody. You see how they lifted him up? All the blood on his face and all of that stuff. Sickening behavior. Like you not gonna get caught. Stupid stuff. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like I said, Louisiana, man, is a different animal. It's a different animal than any place I've ever been. Like when I went down there, and this is no offense to the people because the people are nice, but just the layout of how it looks. Like when you're leaving Texas and you're going to Louisiana, you see it's different. It start turning swamp, like swampland. They got a lot of that weeping willow hanging moss, and the shit look like a slavery set. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm from the East Coast, so it looked like, and like everything's spread out. Everything is spread out, and like the people are nice, but you can tell that's not a place that you play around in, because a lot of the towns and stuff that I've seen still look old time, and you know you in the South when you out there. But I stopped going only for the simple fact when I got pulled over that last time, and it was one cop there, like the first cop that pulled me over was cool. The other cop, he just was staring at me like he was waiting for me to say something. And like I made eye contact with him, and he kind of, I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. So anyway, I escaped without a ticket. But I mean, that was my thing with it. But you know, the situation with this guy's, man, they send him to the hospital because he's unresponsive. And it's probably after they dragged him by his face with the shackles and tore his face all up in their pictures. And the thing that's messed up about it, when the EMTs came and got him, he was unresponsive. Oh, he died in the he died in the car. He hit a tree, and he died. Getting to the hospital, the doctor say, well, look, the bruises and stuff don't add up. You know, he's been scraped right here. You know, he got dirt on his skin. Like, what's going on? All of a sudden, they turn the dude over. He got 2 taser prongs in his back. So you just ran over there and tased the dead man when he was in the car. Hey, don't move, and then tased him. Did you see him on the ground? Remember I said people move around and stuff like that. And people are like, why don't you just stay still? You know, people watching the Russ videos, that shit hurt. Did you hear the guy? Hey, it's hurting me. You getting your neck turned, you bent a certain way, somebody else hitting you on a different angle, then they landing on you all different way. Of course you're gonna scream, man. Of course you're gonna scream. But anyway, check out this video about when they got indicted and listen to what the family has to say.
3 years after a black man died in Louisiana State Police custody, the troopers involved have been charged.
5 officers have been charged.
Jubilation for the family of Ronald Green, who died in 2019. A grand jury Thursday indicted 5 officers seen on body camera video beating him. They face charges ranging from negligent homicide to obstruction of justice.
Even though it was a small victory, we're still left heartbroken.
Green's family also hoping the officers will be justly punished.
There needs to be substantial time for a cop who murders while in uniform. They need to be held accountable.
Police initially claimed Green died after a car crash. Despite police trying to suppress this body camera video, it was released 2 years later, showing Green's violent encounter with officers following a high-speed chase and crash after Green failed to stop for a traffic violation. Police claim Green resisted arrest. Video shows troopers kicking and punching him and using a taser. Green can be heard apologizing.
I'm sorry.
One officer later admitted to hurting him. An autopsy found that cocaine in Green's system, head injuries, and a physical struggle were all factors in his death in addition to the crash. At the time, 2 of the troopers were reprimanded, but none fired. They claimed they used force for their own personal safety. Despite these charges, Green's family says they also want changes in police policies and procedures.
I don't feel like there's public safety for, black and brown people.
Green's family has also filed a wrongful death civil suit against the state troopers involved and their superiors, who the family claims tried to cover up the truth.
See that, guys? Now, I'm telling you, we need us police reform like never before. You notice that the same type of actions and procedures they use are always similar, regardless of what state you're in, where they grab you, choke you, do certain things to you, and the way it's telegraphed is always the same. When you see somebody lose their life in police custody, these officers look stupid. They represent the state of Louisiana, and the state of Louisiana look crazy too. You know what I mean? The governing bodies, because look, why did it take 2 years for the video to come out? It took 2 years. Man, they already knew it was a cover up, and they knew that the situation was looking grim for them. They reprimanded these dudes. What did they say? 2 of them they reprimanded, the other ones went back to duty. It's like business as usual. I don't understand that situation, man. I think a lot of times it has something to do with somebody, whoever's in charge over them, of what his final say is. Now, I don't understand. I don't know how it is in Union Parish or whatever, how the police are run, but I'm going to tell you something. Like I said before, Louisiana's a different animal. You go down there and mess up, they give out time, a lot of time for the simplest infractions out there. They give out time like it's water. I know that for a fact, because I know a lot of people that have been down there, and they tell you, hey, this is one place you don't want to mess up in. Mississippi is another place you don't want to mess it up in, But guys, man, as always, man, leave me a comment, man. Tell me what y'all think. I had forgot all about this story. So, shout out to you, for bringing it up. Because I had forgot all about it. I'm like, hey, Ronald Green, I can't remember that name. And then when I seen the video, I was like, oh, that's the dude they beat up. But, guys, man, listen. If you guys got any stories you want me to share or anything like that, or any, because, I can't see everything. And you got the story you want me to do a video on, you can leave it in the comment below, or you can go to my channel, and I got a business email. You can email me directly. And as always, guys, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.